Vietnam's done a tremendous job managing the COVID outbreak here, and we have about 349 cases and no death. And a lot of people are saying that Vietnam's now moving into what we call a post-COVID situation, and the economy is starting to open up. I think the big picture is that our GDP is going to be in a positive territory. GDP growth is going to be in a positive territory this year. We're looking to grow about 2 to 3% for 2020. A lot of domestic businesses are coming back online, and they're seeing tremendous demand for goods and services. Although aviations and hotels, particularly those that service the foreign travelers, are being hit quite hard, the rest of the economy is growing very, very strong. And as a result, we still believe that Vietnam will be poised for great investment opportunities for the coming year. 2021 and 22, we expect GDP to go back to growth levels of about 6 to 7% per annum.
Where do we stand on some of the market restrictions that the economy had in place for foreign ownership? As I understood it, there were plans to roll back some of those limits, but not everybody has embraced the new legislation.
Yeah, right now at the moment, we have a 30% foreign ownership limits for banks that are listed, and we have a 49% foreign ownership limits for companies in general listed on the stock market. However, the government has allowed businesses to seek to remove the foreign ownership limits altogether if they wish, and roughly about 80 companies have done so. But that's a small number relative to the entire market. We see about 30 companies at the moment that have reached the limit, and we would like to see the government probably best to have a foreign board to allow foreigners to trade. At the moment, you can trade, but you're trading at a premium to the domestic shares. And as a result of the trade, you may have to mark down your holdings once you made the trade because the listed price is much lower for the domestic trade. So our recommendation is to have a foreign board to reflect the trading of the foreign shares. But by and large, companies are allowed to lift the foreign ownership limit if they wish. A lot of them don't wish to do that for the moment. And so our recommendation is to allow for the foreign board to exist.
Andy, people look at Vietnam in many ways as an alternative in terms of an investment story in Asia to investing in China as well. Many people look at the costs of creating their production base in Vietnam compared with China as well. But given the bigger story we're seeing about concerns about the Chinese economy, concerns about the trans-Pacific trade war, and of course we've had those Navarro comments in the last 24 hours as well, can Vietnam really carry on with its own singularly growth story at a time when there's so much disruption in the broader region?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think our chief economist just reviewed this, what we call foreign direct investment. We think the uncertainties around China with the trade war and the pandemic's disruption of supply chain is actually benefiting Vietnam. We're seeing a lot of multinationals look at Vietnam as an alternative place for manufacturing. We're seeing even Chinese companies migrating to Vietnam to manufacture goods. We've recently have an announcement from Apple that they're going to produce the AirPods in Vietnam for global consumption. And so I think by and large, Vietnam is benefiting from these uncertainties that China has created. And we look forward to investing in this sector, whether it's in the logistics space, the land for the industrial processing zone, or the technologies that have come to Vietnam for the FDI.